Joining us now to discuss is CBS law enforcement contributor and former deputy commissioner with the NYPD, Richard Esposito. Mr. Esposito, great to see you once again.
Good morning.
Okay, so you hear something like, ghost guns we know are bad. And then you hear ghost criminals, and that can also incite fear. But the mayor and the NYPD have pointed out that these criminals ultimately make up a small portion of the asylum seekers here. I know people like to paint a broad brush, thinking that all of these asylum seekers, they're all criminals, and this is now affecting public safety. But the same could be said of the general population. Not everybody is good. There's going to be a couple of bad elements there. But let's just talk about this now. This level of crime, there seems to be this kind of network of crime, but it is migrant-based, and it's something that needs to be addressed.
That's absolutely correct, Chris, but no broad brush ever works with looking at crime, as you pointed out. What you've got here that Commissioner Caban called ghost gangs simply means we don't have any records of these folks. They're new here. There's no database with their names in it. We don't know where they live, and it's a little bit compounded by the fact that Latin American names often have multiple elements to them that can be switched around. So that's why they're ghost gangs. And like ghost guns, which have no registration, ghost cars, which have fake license plates, that's the challenge for police. But it's not the entire migrant community by any means. It's a small number of people.
Especially like when you have this ringleader that they're currently looking for. This isn't just, hey, steal a couple of phones or grab a couple of purses while you're on the back of a scooter. They're taking these phones, they're able to download apps, they're able to infiltrate people's banking accounts and drain money that way, and then set up a payment system where if you drive the scooter, you get $100 a day. If you steal the phone, you get between $3 and $5. It's pretty elaborate for somebody who just kind of crossed the border.
Yeah, they cross the border with relationships with gangs in Venezuela. They are a sophisticated group, stealing electric scooters, using them to knock people down and steal their phones, either selling the phones or selling the data in the phones. This is a sophisticated operation. So
if you're a part of the NYPD task force that's tasked with bringing down criminals like this, and we talk about, ghost criminals and ghost guns and not being able to identify or figure out where these people are coming from with no past record, how do you police this? It's got to be more than what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm assuming there's new layers involved.
In a sense, there are new layers, and in a sense, it comes down to what detectives have always done. They worked their way up in this case, Chris, and they told CBS how they did that. They found two lower-level members of the gang, and they worked up from them to the ringleaders. They got statements from these people, got some cooperation from them, and that kind of police work, methodical police work, is what the detectives are known for.
Rich, I want to ask you about a story we have been following very closely. Last week, we had that group in Times Square beating down two NYPD officers, and now we're finding that some of those that were involved were arrested. They were released. They're now reportedly in custody on a Greyhound bus near El Paso. First and foremost, I know bail reform is a very big issue, and a lot of people take umbrage with the rules that are in place right now. I guess my question to you is, how do you get away with beating up two cops and then end up out on the street 3 hours later?
There can be a debate about bail reform, but this looks like a case where they should have been put in jail and kept in jail, and they weren't. This was a violent crime in the middle of Manhattan against police officers. It was abhorrent, and we've never seen this before.
And as far as what they're doing now, as far as we've heard Alvin Bragg talk about needing to basically dot all of the I's, cross the T's before making a case. But with that video, it looks as though the evidence is there to bring these guys in.
I think the district attorney, with great respect, is parsing hairs on this one. And trying to assert he needed very specific charges against very specific individuals when you can see clearly on the video who's involved in the attack. And I think he's being a little bit defensive on this one.
Got it. CBS law enforcement contributor Richard Esposito, we thank you so much once again. Good to talk with you. Probably talk with you next week.
See you soon.
All right, Richard, good to see you.